Hello and welcome to IIFL Securities YouTube channel. I am Shweta Papriwal and today we have Mr. Virender Jeet, CEO, Newgen Software. Welcome, Mr. Jeet. It's a pleasure to host you today.
Good afternoon, Shweta, and thank you for hosting me.
Sir, so we've seen that Newgen has grown leaps and bounds over the years from an imaging software company in 1992 to a leading multi-global software player in 2021. So what has been the single biggest factor behind, Newgen's exemplary growth?
Yeah, we had a journey of 27, 28 years, and I think it's going to be very difficult to pinpoint anything. But, to understand our business, I would take just 2 minutes. So we started back that in a journey of being a software product company. We wanted to operate in enterprise product spaces. Now that's a very, very challenging job. If you understand, there are hardly any software product companies. Forget in India, but if you look at most of the enterprise software companies are either in US or based out of Europe.
Right.
We took up this challenge that why don't we build up an IPR based company, because IPR based knowledge is what you can really maximize over coming years. And we took up this tough challenge. We have traveled a long journey. We have covered the being from a small player to almost $100 million company over this 25 years. And if you understand software product companies, one of the biggest thing is that customers have to rely and use your softwares for almost 10, 15, 20 years. So the entry barriers for any software enterprise product are very, very high. Right. And if you look at any of our competitions, they would be companies who would be operating in the space for at least 15 to 20 years. So you don't see a company before it has invested 20 years. So I would say one of our biggest thing has been from Mr. Newgen, our MD and the founder. His core focus on staying on the path, building the products. And we have seen this has not been an easy journey. It's been a tough journey when you are fighting against competitions like IBMs of the world and FileNets and OpenText. So it has been a tough journey. But I think one of the biggest advantages, we are a company known who's specialized in the areas we are. In the enterprise content management, business process management, customer communication management, we compete with the best in the world. And in certain verticals, we are as good or better than anybody else in the world. So I think our focus as a software product company, our deep investments in that area have really taken us here. And for products, this is a tip of the iceberg. It takes products companies to surface 15, 20 years. And from there, you expect them to grow faster.
Correct. So I think you would be having a very good and loyal customer base also, client base also.
Yeah, so we have very, very high account retention rates. Right? Generally, customers who use us, they use us for mission critical projects.
Correct.
Banks would use us for lending, they use us for clearing, insurance companies would look us for claim processing. So we become very significant and important part of their ecosystems. And we have a history, our customer loyalty or our ability to make customer success. That's one of our strengths. And we have customers who have relationship for last 20, 21 years. There are a lot of customers who have been there for 10, 15 years. For our significant customers, we hardly have any customer churn.
Right. So, sir, what is your outlook on the revenue growth and do you expect the momentum to continue? Also, in which geographies and sectors do you expect growth opportunities?
So, we operate in a market which is estimated to be a very large market of more than $20 billion. And at $100 million, we are not even touching the revenue surface. So the upside of growth is very, very large. We expect to continue our growth momentum in the emerging markets, which we have been. We have founded from India, Middle East, Africa, Asia Pac. These have been traditionally the significant territories, and they have shown a continuous growth momentum for us. Over next 4 or 5 years, we expect these guys to continue that because their penetrations are low as well as digitization is growing across. But our bigger bets are also on the mature market side. We have started building our mature market. US last year became a significant part of our revenue, became in fact the largest territory. This is significant because for product companies, you will see many product companies, they have never been able to succeed in selling US. Right. Coming out of India and this part of it going successfully and making your largest market as US is one significant milestone we achieved.
Right.
Europe is the other subsidiary invested with around 2-3 years. Australia we have opened up. So we believe that over a larger period of time in a horizon of 3 to 5 years, our revenue growth will start reflecting the market size opportunity. And the market size opportunity in mature markets is much more than in emerging markets. Right. But emerging markets, since we have a leadership position and they are the growth markets, they will also show continuous movement. So I would like to summarize. I think US, Europe will become the larger drivers in a long term, but in midterm and short term, all our markets are firing.
So if I could ask you, like you mentioned that US has, been performing well for you. So what is your growth strategy there?
US, is a very, very big market, and you can't be, clueless in that market. You have to be very, very specific. So we entered this market in the area of our strength. We are very strong in selling our products and platforms in banking. So in US, we targeted tier two banks. In fact, because tier one banks are slightly larger and have different sales cycles. We targeted tier two banks, and in which we had digital journeys which they were trying to reform.
Right.
We have got roughly around 20-30 banks so far. And overall, our customer base is around 60-70 in US now. That's a very specific, and we are going strong in that. Lately, over last 1 year, we have started building the global system integrator network, which are carrying our products to Fortune 2000 companies.
Mm-hmm.
That's the another channel we are building. We have a good funnel out there. Last year, we got few wins, which were very, very significant wins. So we are expecting that to be the next big growth driver. While we will continue to have a momentum on the organic side on what we call the account-based sales, which is on the banking, financial services, government, and shared services. But on the Fortune 2000, we want to go through our partner network. Our partner networks with larger system integrators is building up. And that's where we think the next big push in our growth momentum can happen.
Right. Right. So also we've seen that, last month you have unveiled the Newgen One digital transformation platform. If you could tell us more about it and how is it different from the other platforms in the industry?
Yeah, very, very interesting. And we are very super excited about it. When we are approaching mature markets, I think it has become very important that for customers, our partners to realize our core value. Right. And what we have seen in most of our digital transformation journeys, most of the customers are using a combination of technologies which they need to fulfill the journey. Content is becoming very centric to any digital journey, and that's where we are extremely strong. Business process orchestration, or what is coming as a low-code initiative, is very, very become an essential part. And then finally, all the business systems need to communicate back to customers. They need to engage with the customer. That's where the customer communication. So if a platform which has all these three capabilities, which are homogeneous, so that customers don't have to build the cost of integrating and merging them, that is providing a significant cost reduction as well as value to the end customer to substantial digital journeys. Shweta, what happens in most of the digital projects, the speed is the most important thing. If you are able to perceive opportunity or a challenge and you are not able to react in time, a lot of digital journeys will lose value. Right. So with our Newgen One platform, we are positioning that in a way so that our customers can really meet their expectations of market and competition at a speed. So this integrating unified Newgen One platform, which has got all these three very important components. And we have seen historically over the last 4 or 5 years, most of the customers need all these three to complete their complex digital journeys. Of course, there could be simple digital journeys, which could be about enabling a mobile channel or enabling a portal journey, which are not really about transformation. They are more about extension or engagement.
Correct.
Complex journeys need this. And the Newgen One is one of the only platforms which has got all three world-class, globally recognized through Gartners and Forresters integrated together. And so we're super excited about it. And anybody else does not have this as a combination. And our customers over a period of time have recognized it. Now we are positioning it in a much more positive.
Right. So, sir, last 1 year, 1.5 years during the pandemic, we had seen, digitalization taking the center focus and, all the conservational business models also, they moved to digital. So talking about the Indian IT sector, how has it performed during the pandemic and what is your outlook going ahead?
Shweta, you're absolutely right. I think one thing everybody realizes that digital initiatives have really been speeded up. I think whatever was supposed to happen over the next 5-7 years has got condensed in a couple of years.
Correct.
And as a result, all large enterprises are looking at all their digital journeys, their way of engaging and communicating with their partners, channels, including employees, so we are able to service in case of there's a pandemic or a repeat of pandemic. So there is an acceleration in digital all across. Now, this acceleration also has, helped in our customer bases in India. We have really gone and they have expanded the usage of product in a significant way. So I think what I feel is over next 3-4 years, there's a lot of tailwind for all of IT industries.
Right.
And of course, digital has got many shapes and sizes for different companies. But for us kind of thing, we think that, our customers are accelerating their digital spend. They're able to really go and start utilizing these systems. And the way our platforms are positioned for speed, low code, that's giving them a distinct advantage. They're able.
Correct.
So our success rates of projects are much higher. Once you take an initiative with Newgen, you are sure that the customer will see the product out in few days. They will see the business benefit.
Right.
And all last 15-20 years, this has been one thing has been common. Our focus on making customers successful quickly, because quickly is the essence out here. As the business is changing, if you have customer journeys which are spreading across years, I think the problem itself has gone.
Yes.
And so you no more have the relevance. So speed is important, and I think people are asking for that speed. Lot of it is also to do with capacity of people to have more resources, but that is more a problem with service industry, because there's a lot of churn now happening in market. There's a lot of people are shifting jobs. Those are some challenges. For product companies, we have talent is a very important issue, but we are not a number-based company. We're still an IPR-based company with a service component which is essential to make customers happy.
Right. So what is your, future expansion plans, and what kind of, growth do you envision for the Indian software products company?
So I think there are two different questions. So I'll take our future. I talked a bit about our future growth strategy and
Yes.
our investments in mature markets. Some of those investments have started showing returns, but we have continuously gone and opened the European subsidiary, the UK subsidiary, and the Australian subsidiary.
Right.
So it will take some time to ramp them up. So our growth strategy is going to be sticking to these three core product lines, which are really becoming core in the digital journeys, and then penetrate more and more mature market. That's where we're going to be completely focused on. On the other hand, for our core verticals, which are banking, insurance, shared service, and government, we have really built great solution accelerators, where we have a lot of domain knowledge for customers, and we'll keep on extending in these. So
Right.
lately, I think last 2 years, we have started entering the trade area. That's showing a lot of result. They are entering in collections, cash management, onboarding, loans have been all our previous trend. So on the vertical side, we'll expand in our core verticals, but on the horizontal side, we'll go and start penetrating more in mature market. We expect this can accelerate our growth, and it can go beyond our traditional growth trajectories. But we'll have to work towards it, and I think it's a thing in making. So Indian software products is a very, very different question, because if you say traditionally in enterprise space, very few product companies have been able to succeed in India. But things are changing. One, there's a huge, healthy investment climate. So products are based on deep investments. You have to be really, really patient and have that. So that's changing. I think a lot of investment, both in early stages and late stages, available to Indian companies.
Right.
The other transformation of cloud and SaaS has really provided a different opportunity to customers to make their products available to a larger audience within the country and outside country, and able to reach that customer. That's opening a next breed of product. So I believe if the environment becomes better for investments in IPR based products, the market understands that these are deep investments and have but exponential returns over a period of time. I think more and more companies will start. I think today you'll see a lot of things what have happened in the B2C businesses, which is consumer centric businesses. A lot of businesses are opening up. Of course, we don't remember the ones which are failed, but if you look at the number of companies which are succeeding is also significant. And that's what's motivating the market. Yes. Similarly, in products, I perceive as people will realize more and more software product company investments would happen. And especially on the cloud centric and B2B centric, there is a chance of better successes because they're able to reach their customers much faster.
Correct.
On the other hand, on the enterprise side, there are some few companies which are doing a good job. But again, it's a much longer journey, deeper investment, and really, as a big challenge. It's not that easy.
Correct. Completely. So thank you so much, Mr. Jeet, for taking the time out and briefing us about your company and the growth strategies. We wish you all the best. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shweta. Thank you for your time.